So if you've been involved in the markets for a while, then you know that it takes a good understanding not only of the markets, but of human emotion as well. However, that's kind of easier said than done, especially when you think about things like work, school, family, and all of the other responsibilities that we have. Finding consistent candidates to trade can be extremely challenging. So in this video, I'm going to break down some of the tips and strategies to help you find the next big move, no matter what season of life you're in. Coming right up.
Hey, what's up? Rob here with Wealth Builders HQ, where we bring you the best tips and tools for building your skills to develop wealth for today and well into the future. And on this channel, we do a lot of stock market analysis for long and short term, as well as recaps just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, one of the questions we get most from our Wealth Builders HQ community is, how do you look at where the stock market has been and determine where it is headed? So we have actually put together an entire free live training workshop that is all about finding the best candidates for today's market. And there's a section for the community, you, to bring your stocks to the event and have me analyze them for you in real time. This free workshop is called Power Hour, and it's taught every Monday live online at noon Eastern Time. I'll leave a link to it below in the show notes.
Let's go ahead and start this week off with some economic reports. There are a couple of core reports coming out this week, starting on Tuesday. Nothing really major on Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're off Thursday, and then we finish up on Friday. Retail sales is probably one of the biggest reports that we're looking for to gear up on what's happening early in the retail season, in the holiday season right now. But do not discount the PPI, the CPI, as well. They are key and core reports for us. Now, as far as earnings go, there's not a whole lot out there. None of these are major companies that are out there, right? Every one of them are smaller companies, but they are still decent, like Sienna and so forth. There are still decent companies, but nothing great. And that's because we're out of earnings season right now. We'll have a new one coming up shortly, but for now, we're not quite there. So let's go ahead and take a look next at the markets, and we'll start off with the S&P 500. So what can we say? Oh my goodness gracious. Holy mackerel. How about we start with that? Holy frickin' mackerel. How about we go there? The markets have been an absolute whipsaw, kicking people's tails. If you're trying to time the markets right now and you do not have a lot of experience and you do not have a lot of knowledge, you're making a major mistake. Guys, one of the things that we have done, one of the programs that I have put together is something called Trading You. I'm going to leave a link to it down below. Well, Trading University takes you through an entire 3-day, it was supposed to be 2, it turned into a 3-day fully functional stock market education program where you walk out with actual trading systems. I'll leave a link to it below, guys. If you really want to learn about this and learn how it works, you need to check it out. But we look at the S&P 500 right now, we're pressed right at a major level. I do want to see that 6,300 is our next target. That's really what I'm looking for in there. We need to see that push to 6,300. Traders are waiting for it. If it would have happened a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, down here, on the 23rd, in that area, and pushed down to the 2,600, we would have put that double bottom in, had that double top in there, and maybe would not have failed as quickly as we did here this week on Tuesday. But with that being said, I think we're going to retest that 2,600. After the major loss on Friday, would it be natural to see a bounce on Monday? It wouldn't be unheard of, but we did have a weekend, and it all depends what the news cycle looks like playing around into that. Even with the Fed saying, well, maybe the rates really are where they belong right now. Maybe, but I'm not really feeling a lot of warm and fuzzies out of the market right now as well. When I talk in my sphere of influence, in my group of traders that I work with, that I can call and say, hey, what are you seeing happening? I'm hearing the exact same thing. None of them are saying, yes, we believe it's a bounce. We believe we bottomed out. We believe we're going back up. Now, none of us believe this is the drop, the major one. But there are a lot of things that are happening. The interest rate hikes, the concerns with trade in China, all of these pieces, the arrest from the G20 right after or during the G20 meeting, right? All of these pieces of the puzzle starting to fill in a little bit and say, oh, wait a second. Something's just not looking right for us here. So on the S&P 500, guys, those are the numbers, right? Be very, very, very cautious this week on S&P, right? Major levels between that down here, that 2569 level and the 2604 level. Great confluence. You see the yellow box I've got drawn here on the left. Great confluence on that box over there, on that rectangle. All right, so when we look at stocks that were movers and shakers last week, let's go with some weekly charts. Excuse me. So we're only looking at the last bar. We were down 61 points on Amazon. That's not a major number for an Amazon, but if you were in the wrong side of that trade, 61 points is pretty painful, is it not? Boeing, big airplane, 24 points. You look at the candle, looks a lot more massive than Amazon's did. Biogen was down 17 points. It pressed right into that 315 level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row, we've tested it over and over and over again as a support. Booking, right? Captain Kirk, right? Yes, this is the old price line, right? Booking had dropped 57 points during the week. Google, on the other hand, had a 63-point drop. It's almost half the price of Booking and had a bigger drop for it. And you could see Google was punished severely this week. Now, notice that 1035 level is a very important support level for Google. And then we've got Netflix, NFLX. They lost 21 points during the week. All right, so I'm going to flip this back over to a daily chart. And I'm going to go ahead and take you into some possible candidates for this week. All right, so very first one we've got is Amazon. Let me zoom back out a little bit on this. Amazon, we're looking at, if we get the continuation down, guys, 1600 to 1590. Somewhere in that zone, we're looking at a level of support in there. We look at big airplane, Boeing. If we can break that 323, there's nothing in the way of 311. Nothing at all. Now, if we wanted to go back and look, yeah, you'll find something at some point. There's no question. You'll find something in there, right? But you'll find that we've got a previous fib line right here. You'll get some outliers here. See where this bottom was? Right there. But we definitely have some potential in this position, in this company, if they do break to the downside, if Boeing does. We look at Baidu. Let me scrunch the chart down a little bit. Actually, let's pull this out and reset it up. When we look at Baidu, we've got a fib at 175 level. So we've got about a $4 move to the downside. From there, we're looking at 167 if we can break it. So scale out of half the trade at that 175 level. That's a strategy that we teach in Monster Market Movers on how we play channels and things like that, where we scale out of half of the trade. And then Netflix, NFLX, once again, let me pull this out. We're looking at that downside move. And just to the Fibit alone, we're looking at a move down to 254 from 265. So we've got phenomenal opportunity there. And if it does break further, we're looking at 237. So once again, strong potential directionally. It's got good support at 254. So there's a high probability of a retest if the market were to continue to that bearish slide.
I hope this update was helpful, and I would love to hear your feedback in the comments below. And actually, if you want more insights like this, you could just go over to wealthbuildershq.com. I'll post a link to it below. Now, the question of the day is, what stocks are you going to be looking at for next week? Go ahead and let me know in the comments section below. So thank you for checking out this video. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't done so yet. And until next time, Wealth Builders HQ is bringing you the best tips and tools for building sustainable wealth in the stock market. Keep crushing it, and we'll talk soon. Take care, folks.